driver, see if we can get any type of make or a description on it. But a lot of dark tints on that vehicle, and that's exactly why that's illegal, because we can't really, law enforcement can't see inside, can't see who the suspect is. We're going to try to push a little bit forward here as we cross right over the 405 freeway. We cross under that. We're approaching the 91 interchange here, but again, really dark. We can't really see in there, so we're going to pull back out. Just too dark to see through that tint.
Well, sometimes it's difficult for them, especially with tinted windows like that, to note there's one, two, multiple people in this vehicle. He's slowing down significantly, down to about 40 miles an hour, 48, 49 miles an hour. Is that because he's coming into traffic or just...
Okay, 91 freeway, 91 freeway. I've got you. Thank you. Okay. Is he exiting on maybe Main? He just took the Main Street off-ramp here loose. He just basically transitioned from the northbound side of the 110 freeway over to the East 91, and you just saw him make that hairpin turn. He just got off on our Main or Avalon, and basically he's back onto the eastbound 91 freeway again. So it looks like these kind of attempts to shake the CHP, from being so close to him, essentially, definitely not going to work. I mean, we have a couple of airships above. Wow, look at that. He just collided with the CHP officer there. That is not going to go well for this guy. That is not going to go well. That could potentially be perceived as assault with a deadly weapon against a police officer here. So that might change the way they treat this guy, the way they react to this guy, if and when this thing does stop. So we'll kind of watch and see what that was a major incident right there. So that could change the flow, the course of how this pursuit ends. So we are traveling Compton now. Compton, eastbound side of the 91 freeway, coming through Compton. We'll be coming up on, say, Alameda here in just about a mile and a half or so. Beyond the Compton area, you got the 710 freeway at North Long Beach, but you just saw that he collided with a CHP officer on the freeway at freeway speeds, very dangerously. We saw that, him colliding intentionally with other vehicles along the 101 and the 110 freeway. So this guy showing no regard for anything except, his hope to get away from this all. But that's not going to happen here. We have several layers of police helicopters. We have, let's wind out the shot just for a second here, just to give you an idea how many units of the CHP are now following this. Guys, this is not going to end nice for this guy unless he gives up peacefully here. But look at how many units are behind this guy on the eastbound side of the 91 freeway. Again, we'll be coming up on Alameda. Beyond Alameda, we'll be coming up over towards the 710 freeway, North Long Beach, Bellflower. Beyond that, if this guy decides to head up into the San Gabriel Valley, maybe he wants to take the 710 freeway north. But at any rate, yeah, this guy is making some very, very dangerous and very dangerous moves for himself that could be perceived in a manner that is not going to bode well for him once they do get this guy stopped. So this is going to be a very dangerous situation, not only for him, but it continues to be a very dangerous situation, obviously, for the police officers, the CHP officers that are trying to get this guy to slow down and stop. I mean, he collided with a CHP officer. Not only that, he collided intentionally with other vehicles on the freeway, commuters along the 101 and the 110 freeway southbound. So again, he's showing no regard for the safety of anyone, and all he's thinking about is just kind of continuing this very dangerous and reckless pursuit here. So the charges against this guy are definitely starting to stack up as we cross over Alameda, and we'll be over towards the 710 freeway in a matter of about another mile and a half, so we'll see what he does. But, wow, you just saw that wild situation here where he actually collided with a CHP officer. The number one lane of traffic, and he's going to, wow, sudden move. Okay, you know that this guy is not afraid to crash into anyone here, so as long as it doesn't disable his car, you know that this guy will swerve and sideswipe and do whatever he has to avoid being disabled and being captured here by the CHP. But eastbound side of the 91 freeway, we'll be coming up on, let me look down the freeway, okay, coming up on Atlantic, coming up on Cherry. Beyond that, we'll be coming up on Downey, Lakewood, and Bellflower beyond that. So here we go, coming through North Long Beach, and in another couple of miles we'll be coming through Bellflower here. So East 91 freeway, lots of slower moving traffic, and he's kind of using that, well, I don't know if it's more or less to his advantage, but he's using that slower traffic to kind of weave in and out, and he's trying to distance himself from the CHP, but the CHP is definitely in very close proximity, and as I mentioned before, we have a couple of layers of helicopter that are following this guy, so this guy's just not going to get away, not under these circumstances here. He's just now coming up on a slower moving box van. You know, if he wanted to, he could just move over to the right lane, and that's what he's doing. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, we were just going to, sorry to interrupt you there, we're going to continue to follow, watching this vehicle in this pursuit, but we have Juan Galvan back on the line from the CHP. Juan, we just saw this driver aggressively ram into one of the CHP vehicles. Not a good idea.
Absolutely. Now this is assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. That vehicle is disabled now. So the pursuit is continuing. We are eastbound 91, as you mentioned. Last entry I have here is approaching Atlantic. So we just want to be cautious and have the public be careful while they're out there. And if this is coming into your area or into your location, just try and stay away. Move off to the right.
All right, we continue to watch this vehicle. Have you ever seen a driver this aggressive before for this long a period of time?
You know, each pursuit that we have, we treat with extreme caution. There are pursuits where they are like this. Unfortunately, it happens during the night and it doesn't get attention as it does here. But we have seen rammings. We have seen the suspect in pursuits be very aggressive in this nature.
Just to let our viewers to know what's going on here, how did this all start in San Gabriel?
The call that we have at 11:32 was from San Gabriel PD that they were in pursuit of a white Nissan SUV, which I believe is a Nissan Rogue, for highway violence against a San Gabriel marked patrol vehicle. A pursuit ensued, and then at that point, we were requested to take over. We, as in CHP, were requested to take over, and that's where we currently are right now.
Any information on what exactly led to that incident?
We don't have the exact, or what the exact action was that led to the highway violence, or what the action was. However, we are pursuing based on that, and now the assault on peace officer on our CHP officer.
So, just from what you've seen on air, what potential charges is he facing up to this point?
Well, there are several charges. It could be felony evading as well as the assault on peace officers, and depending on what the crime was against the San Gabriel PD unit as well, will all be included.
All right, we continue to watch this again. This is a white Nissan Rogue, just weaving in and out of traffic, reaching speeds at one point of on the 105 freeway of 115 miles per hour. I don't know about you, Lou, but I have not seen one gone this that's gone this long and this aggressive in quite some time, especially in all of this heavy traffic. Marcona, where exactly are we at this point?
Yeah, Glenn, welcome to the show here, eastbound side of the 91 freeway. We've just passed Lakewood Boulevard. We're coming up on Bellflower Boulevard. In fact, I think we just passed Bellflower Boulevard. And so now we're basically heading through Bellflower over towards Cerritos. Eastbound side of the 91 freeway over towards the 605 is where we are going now. This guy, as you've been watching, has been weaving in and out of lanes here, so with no regard for other commuters on the road, and so just moving at a very fast rate of speed, as fast as he can, to try and evade the CHP officers, which are relatively in close proximity to him right now. He is in the HOV lane, and he is eastbound 91, and he's approaching the 605 freeway at this. Okay, let's see what he does here. If he stays in kind of those left lanes, he's going to be committed to the 91 freeway east, and he'll be coming through Cerritos. If he makes a swerving move to the right, and we've seen that before, he might be heading over towards the 605 north or south. So let's see what he does. It looks like he's kind of locked himself into the 91, and so that's going to put us over towards Studebaker, over towards Pioneer, and over towards the Cerritos area here. So crossing over the 91 freeway, or crossing over the 605 freeway, I should say, eastbound side of the 91. So you saw just on our air just a few minutes ago, and we called it, boy, oh boy, he just kind of swerved into that CHP officer, and that just changes the flow of this pursuit here, because this just elevates that to a new level where this guy is essentially using his vehicle as a deadly weapon here. So that is just going to not bode well for this guy as he continues this. And and hopefully this ends up in a peaceful way. We just don't know based on what we've witnessed to this point. This guy is just completely desperate, completely out of control, and just using any means necessary to avoid being taken into custody here at this point.
Well, Mark, yeah, and I mean, one of the crazy things is that we've seen him on the freeways. We've also seen him on side streets, and we had earlier video showing this guy who was almost pinned, where he wasn't going to be able to go in any direction.
Thanks,
there were
Levin.
other vehicles in front of him than CHP and a couple of San Gabriel police officers behind him, and he aggressively, in front of everyone, just did a U-turn, rammed
Exiting on
police
Pioneer.
officer.
Wow.
Whoa, he's out of control, out of control. Five slowing.
Okay.
Okay,
So, Mark,
right
this
here,
is where
right
it
here,
can
right here,
become
guys.
a little dangerous.
Okay, hang on, guys, hang on. If need be, if this thing goes south here, we're going to pull out to a wider shot here, but for now, we're going to kind of hold this shot right here. This guy may be disabled here. It looks like he exited on Pioneer, fishtailed, spun around, and now his back end is facing that sound wall. I don't know that the CHP actually has eyes on him. I don't know, but you can see just to the top left of the screen, the CHP is definitely on the on-ramp here. Now, we do have a pretty good vantage point here. If he decides to move or gets out of the driver door or anything on the driver's side, we're going to have a pretty good vantage point here. But depending on what we see here, guys, we may need to pull out of the shot and not air that potentially here. So just kind of bear with us here. We're going to do the best we can to give you the best coverage possible. Sky 5 HD was first over this pursuit coming out of San Gabriel here.
Pursuit in. And JT, I don't know if they know yet how many people are in that vehicle.
Yeah, this is, you can see that right rear passenger door opening up there, guys. Uncertain if the suspect could not get out of the driver's door, maybe climb in the back seat, or there's more than one suspect. We're going to watch him to see if he runs. Uncertain if the CHP can actually see them the way they're deployed. That's probably not really visible, so we're going to try to move just in here. CHP helicopter overhead to see if he's trying to crawl out of that back
JT?
right door, maybe into that brush area. You can see there he is.
You could see a
And
person.
trying to,
Now he's
looks
crouching.
like he's wearing a black t-shirt, jeans, and we're trying to see his hands here. Use extreme
He does
vision.
have his
We want
hands
to
out,
see his
JT.
hands.
He
Does that
has
look
his
like
hands out. It does not
That's
appear
good.
as if there's a weapon. However, it looked
Went
as
back
if
into the
there
car.
were multiple people in the vehicle.
Got back into
Couldn't
the car.
tell Philip and Philip and Ellen and Leslie if that was a possible female or a male. He was wearing a black. He or she was wearing a black shirt and had his skull and crossbones on it. Looked like they had dark jeans on. I didn't really like that posture. There's the driver's door opening up right now.
Well, now
Again,
we're going to
there is
see
a
if
dog
it's the
here.
same
See,
person. Because there,
CHP.
JT, it looked like the back door opened and I had seen movement in the front seat. And
Yeah.
clearly that's not a possibility for a person to be in two places at once. I'm not positive, neither can the officers be positive, but what troubling moments to see the person get out of the car and then get back in. Bruce Thomas, if you're still with us, what does that do to officers who are trying to secure this location?
Been in the car through the sunroof, but the officers are going to make sure they have plenty of personnel there, safe the area, flood the area, so if it does turn into a foot bail,
Yeah, they're running on
they
foot.
can
They're
maintain
moving through the
visual
bushes.
contact and take them into custody. But in this case, what you have right now is someone that is not willing to give themselves up.
We have
Okay,
someone
Bruce, hold
running
on.
through the bushes right now. Looks to be a male. Crawled out the window instead of opening the door.
Now, so we don't know if there's still a person in the car. What we've seen is that person that appears to be similar to the one that we watched get out of the car. You have officers that are pursuing there. Somebody will still be back at the car, the SUV, to secure that, just in case there is somebody in there, because we don't know if there was one or two or how many people were in that car.
Okay, guys, if you're with me, the suspect is behind that tree. We saw him run. The helicopter overhead advised the officers where he was and what he was doing. They did deploy a canine into that area. There was a canine underneath that tree. We're going to push in, Jamie. They are making contact with the suspect. Unless he hopped that wall, which remains to be seen, it appears that they're making contact with the suspect right now with the canine. He is being taken into custody, we're being told, underneath that tree, so we will see him come out here shortly. And uncertain if the canine actually made contact with the suspect or not, but they had that dog out of the car immediately. He tried doing the okey doke, right? So he tried crawling out that back window again. You can be assured right now that officers, a clearance team, is clearing the car right now. Yeah, that's a good angle right there, Jason. As we continue in, you can see the suspect right up against that wall. We're going to use extreme vision to show you him being taken into custody. It does not appear he or she, it is a male, wearing that black t-shirt. Hold right here, Jason. This is good. Blue jeans. They're searching him for weapons. He seems to be erratic, but he tried doing the old okey dokey, getting out that right rear door where the officers couldn't see him. But you can rest assured that air asset, the helicopter, saw him get out that window, saw him crawling, saw him run. He was doing the old scoot across the ground, trying to get through that brush and trying to get in the clear. But that didn't work out. Obviously, watch your exposure, Jamie. As they take him into custody here and walking him back to the car. CHP has cleared the car, or is in the process of clearing the car to make sure there's no additional suspects in it.
Yeah, do we know that? Do we know that information yet? If there's anybody in that car?
Well, as soon as we're gonna walk him back here, we're gonna maybe move back to where we were, Jason. We're gonna see if that car has been cleared. We'll tell by the pull out a little bit, Jamie. We can see that car off to the left there. Yeah, they're standing around that car. They're not in a tactical stand, so more than likely that car has been cleared. So that was that one suspect, Philip, jumping around in that car.
Right.
Maybe he couldn't get out of that driver's door because it was up against that dirt and that brush there. But
Concerned perhaps other people that were sideswiped and they have their suspect in custody.
And you can see, I want to say thank you, JT Alpa. I want to thank CHP for talking to us on the phone. Bruce Thomas for joining us. Ellen Leyva, Leslie Lopez, all of us here as they have taken this man into custody. The pursuit has ended.
And Sierra Lund from CHP as well.
CHP, Sierra Lund, we are going to return you to the Chew, which is already in progress.